you all please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance?
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, now we'll call the meeting to order. Okay, Boy Scout Troop 37. Nicole, I am going to give you the honor of this.
Oh, thank you.
You can read it if you like.
Boy Scout Troop 37, please accept the town's sincere thank you once again for the wonderful beautification of the town of Hyde Park's Veterans War Memorial this year, just in time for our Memorial Day remembrance ceremonies. The placement of the beautiful flowers does not go unnoticed by those who pay their respects at the War Memorial or by those walking by Town Hall. Many people comment on how it beautifies and enhances the grounds here at Town Hall. Your troops' dedication and strong work ethic in volunteering their time to such a worthy project shows valuable character traits that will serve them well in their future endeavors. Once again, the town commends Troop 37 and thanks for your continued support to the town of Hyde Park. Sincerely, Alfred Torgiani, Town Supervisor.
Thank you very much. Good job. Good job. Good job, guys.
That pin won't count towards Eagle Scout.
Well, it's community service hours.
Okay. This one I'm going to do. Ron and Kathy Lane. Please accept the town's sincere appreciation for your most generous donation to the Town of Hyde Park Police Benevolent Association regarding the department's canine program. Your donation, which contributed to the purchase of the German Shepherd for this program, is of vital importance. With aid to your generosity, the Town of Hyde Park's department will now be able to utilize this amazing program, assist with many aspects related to the criminal activity. Also, this program will become a large part of the community and will be used to educate residents and organizations as a whole by collaborating with other community groups and help strengthen the safety and well-being of all individuals living within Hyde Park. It is because of people like yourselves and your generosity that the town is able to continue to provide additional needs, services, not just for the town residents, but to our dedicated police force as well. Once again, on behalf of the town of Hyde Park and Hyde Park Police Department, we thank you for your generosity and your continued support for the town residents. The dog in? Bring the dog in. Is there anybody we want to bite?
Come on, bring him down.
Drug trained?
No, it's going to be a bomb sniffing dog.
All right.
No, he's 2 years old, so this is
It's beautiful.
Very nice.
Al, when you were speaking, there was feedback on here. Was there something to do about it?
Mine?
microphone isn't very loud.
I didn't hear it. Wow. That's funny. Hear loud noises.
Yeah, maybe you were too close to the mic.
I didn't hear feedback. I didn't hear
I didn't hear it too bad.
Okay, we all got tinnitus now. All right, I'd like to have a motion to accept the minutes of July 18th, 2022.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Is there a second?
Hmm?
Did anybody second?
Anybody second? I didn't hear that.
I'll second.
Okay. All right, carried. Did the acknowledgements, okay, continuation of public hearing for accepting proposed local law number A022 entitled Local Law Number A of 2022 to repeal the local law number 9 of 2021. You have something from the chief?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. There's a mic right there. Oh, there you go.
Good evening. What I have in front of me is a statement from the Chief of Police, Robert Benson, in regards to the number 9, local law number 9. I am sorry I'm unable to attend the meeting tonight on the repeal of local law number 9 of 2021 entitled A Local Law Opting Out of Allowing Cannabis Retail Dispensaries as Authorized under New York State Cannabis Law Article 4. I've spent over 29 years working towards preventing drug use and those abusing drugs within the community. I've spent 6 years teaching the youth of our community the Drug Abuse Resistance Education Program, or otherwise DARE. I personally was not in favor of the legalization of marijuana. In my experience in law enforcement, I have interviewed many drug users and believe that marijuana is a gateway drug. I know there are many people who disagree with me, but in my experience, cannabis is the first drug used and had led many to use stronger and more addictive drugs. Lawmakers in New York State felt differently and legalized cannabis for recreational use. I cannot support a cannabis lounge in our town. The amount of training that needs to be given to our law enforcement officers to help with the increase of people leaving one of these lounges that is under the influence of marijuana is sizable, and the availability of training is very limited. Cannabis distribution sites are very different than lounges. I have done extensive research on different distribution sites and how they are run. I feel these locations have safeguards in place to assure that they are safely and legally dispensed. I am fearful that if we don't have a location for people to legally purchase their recreational marijuana, that we will continue to see cases where people are purchasing marijuana from street dealers. There have been many cases where marijuana illegally purchased has been laced with fentanyl. When these drugs are purchased from street dealers, there are no safeguards in place to ensure that the users are not only using a highly addictive and are also not using a highly addictive and deadly narcotic. The Town of Hyde Park Police Department will continue our mission to try to prevent drug use and misuse. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Anyone else? Okay. Nicole?
Motion.
Oh. Oh, yeah. Ask for a motion.
I'm sorry.
No, that's not it. Oh, yeah. Motion to close the public hearing regarding cannabis.
Make a motion?
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Closed. Okay, now Nicole.
Resolution 850.
Hold on.
Are we not opening the floor for comments on resolutions? Our town, isn't that part of the agenda?
Oh, yeah.
Public no.
Yeah, you didn't do the public comment on this.
Oh,
I'm
public
sorry.
comments on resolutions. That's what I thought I read. Okay. All right, go ahead, you can do it.
Thank you, Joanne.
Thank you.
Oh, sure. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Joanne Lown, and I'm happily retired from the town after almost 35 years of managing the town's finances. I'm not a politician, and I don't like public speaking. I'd rather talk one-to-one, but I have to speak tonight. On August 3rd, Al, our town supervisor, posted a press release on Facebook. Instead of using social media, I responded to him by email regarding my concerns on his comments. This is the paperwork I handed to you. I also left copies on the table if anybody else would like to read them. Because I'm only limited to 3 minutes, I don't have time to read my rebuttals. As Chief Fiscal Officer and trustees for the town's finances, you have a right to be educated. In July, an independent auditor presented you with the 2021 financial audit, did it at a public meeting. To reiterate some of those findings, which you'll find on page 46 of the report, and I've enclosed as an attachment, you will notice as of 12/31/2021, there is an unassigned fund balance of $1,907,035. That is almost $2 million of undesignated funds for you to use toward projects or shortfalls. And this is after I transferred $1,405,000. This money transferred was to help fund the capital project, John Watson Golding Senior's Town Hall addition, in the amount of $1 million. The capital project Tap B sidewalks for the shortfall between the budget and the contractor's bid in the amount of $205,000, and $200,000 for the highway fund to use toward road improvements in 2022. Most of the capital projects, including Hacker Hill ADA Playground, Dinsmore upgraded playground equipment, the Town Hall addition, Tappy and Main Street sidewalks, were budgeted according to 2021 labor and material rates. Who would have thought a year later, with the increase in oil costs, labor shortages, etc., the effect it would have on these worthwhile projects. This is why I set aside almost $2 million. If you want to go ahead with these projects, you can allocate from these funds. This is what your controller should be advising you. On July 20th, I filed for the year-to-date financial reports. Per legislative law, I was entitled to a response within 20 working days. As of today, I have not received any response. So I'm questioning if these reports even exist, and if not, how do you educate yourself to make these press statements? Joanne Lown, thank you.
Thank you. How many days?
20 business days. Hold on a second. This isn't.
Well, Joanne, I'm going to answer you. A couple of these things, I think you don't.
You need to talk into the mic, I'm sorry, Al.
Well, they were telling me it was feeding back, that's all. Is it? No? Okay. Jim's been away, so I did get the updated, what you requested, but you've had some of them, but he skipped 2 from what I saw. Now, he was away, and I didn't want to send it to the board or everybody else until he came back. So we asked for an extension, but it's done now. So now he's going to send it, the update to Donna. Did he do that today?
He did.
Okay, so you're going to get that.
Thank you.
That's what you wanted.
Thank you.
But some of the items on your list are not really accurate, okay? When you say that the TAP program for the Pine Woods is, was all accounted for, and you got an NTE, which is a not-to-exceed contract, well, you can have a not-to-exceed contract all you want, but when DOT and DASNY are involved, their contracts allow for escalation clauses from the date of bid to the date of completion. Now, we are going to be seeing a lot of that come our way because of the fuel oil and everything else that's going on. Now, I asked your auditor on the meeting previously to the previous one, I asked them how much money is in the actual coffers for this. They said $600,000. And I said, where did the other $1 million come from? Well, you're going to probably borrow it or take it from the fund. Well, it sounds like that. But there's also some other items that weren't included in that, which were the inspection, which came in over $100,000. So there's another 100. I know you said you had some land acquisition that makes up the difference. That might help towards that, but then there's still $75,000 more.
There was 71,000 budgeted for the inspections.
All right, well,
That's
It was-
why it's important, I think, to get the financial reports.
yeah, you'll
And
have
I'd be
it.
more than happy to sit down with you and help you to read them, or Jim help
Oh.
him to read. I just
I think we got the handle on how to read them. That's not the problem. We also, I don't want to get nasty about all of the people get nasty about stuff like this, but then the item with the town hall edition, we never stopped it. As you know, I went down to John's house to try to bring him up to speed with what we were doing. The reason we did the borings, because they're necessity to find out what's underground, especially when John said, hey, this is where the old stuff burned down. So we said, we got to find out what's under the ground to decide how we're going to really place this thing. I mean, the footprint was done according to what you guys first had talked about, which was okay. But then we went to the board heads and figured out if it's enough, blah, 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 like that. We did the borings and it came out with there's a 26-foot hole in here somewhere. So then we came down, Howie came down with his men, and they digged, how many holes did we do?
3 or 4, I think.
4, at the areas that we were going to try to manipulate the building. Okay, so it did change things. Now, it's going to cause a major change to the foundation. Not that we added more space, but to that. And we had to do a phase 1, which is necessary, because we knew we were going to impact the existing building we were joining. So we had to get rid of that. I spoke to John about all this stuff and told him, I said, we got to get, the design hasn't stopped. The only problem was we had to wait to dig the holes. We did the borings, but we couldn't do the mass excavation to really get a clear idea what's down there. The elevator that you're talking about that's going to come in that way, that has to be installed per handicap abilities to get people downstairs. It's not what I added, it's what code adds. That's a necessity. So it is going higher. It's not that we're going to stop. I mean, if it did stop for some reason, I'd be the first one to give the money back to John. I'm really trying to make sure it doesn't. John and I have worked diligently to see what we can do, what we can find, and what we can change to help that, to make it look good too at the same time, which it's difficult to make this building look like it's supposed to look. So it's going to take a little more than expected. I don't know what the bonding capacity or, to borrow is. I don't know if we can use other money. That's why I didn't want to spend any money going down the road when in '23, this thing is going to hit the streets, hopefully first quarter next year, which coming from a commercial contractor, that is the best time to put it on the street because everybody's trying to backlog their work. So we're hoping that does help. even though the supply is starting to change a little bit, not with electronics, so that's about that one. And then the other item, which was the pine woods. Look at pine woods, it should have been installed already. We can't even get them to answer our calls that you wrote the PO to.
That's not a town project, you know that, right?
Yeah, that's a tap. I mean, that's the recreation project.
Pine Woods?
Pine Woods or
Do you
Tensmore?
mean Pine
No,
Woods?
you mean
and-
Oh, Hackett
Hackett?
Hill, sorry.
Hackett.
Too many parks. Hackett Hill. They still haven't received it. We're trying to get them to come down and tell us, hey, what they've done so far, does this meet your criteria? We're not getting any response from them. I know there's some more dozing and leveling that's definitely got to happen. All right, so, and then we got to go from there. We got to go to the, once the units are installed, we got to develop how we're going to do the handicap accessibility, blacktop, the walkways. I mean, none of that was involved. So there's going to be some money there. You know, even whether Howie does it, he does some of it. John has been gracious and done it. You know, we know that could be a potential problem because we're taking away work, but everything was gifted to us basically. So we're keeping track of all that. Well, that's gonna happen. It seems like it's getting pushed into the winter. And same thing with Calaruso. When's his start date? That's coming up, right?
For the, which project are you talking about?
For the walkway, the Pine Woods pedestrian.
They've already started,
That's
started.
not them. That's DOT.
Oh, I thought they already started.
No, that's the DOT portion of it. Pine Woods is only doing from there down.
Oh, I see the contractors out there doing additional layout and stuff like that. Yeah, okay.
Well, they gotta bring the electric line to the other
The
pole.
poles,
Yeah,
yep.
so you got two contracts melding together. We were supposed to be done first. Now DOT is moving quicker than we were. Minor issues, Howie says he could take care of some little drainage thing. So he'll tie that in. And then Calaruso is supposed to start, but what we don't want is to push them into November. We want them to get done. It's a 45-day thing. It should be quick. And then we'll know if there's any cost issues coming forward. You know, but coming in as a new board, I know what you're saying. We've seen it. We're looking at it going further. We don't know if we should just use the funds or let the fund balance stay a little higher because of the way things are right now. We don't know if anything, God forbid, catastrophic could happen. It's not just for projects, it's also for that too. You know, some other items, you know, we need somebody, we need something, so you're right. But anything, you'll get it, and then hopefully you could sit down if you want and have a discussion with me and Jim anytime.
Have no problem.
You're right here,
Okay.
all right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Can I say something just
Sure.
based on this last page? This handout, information for town officials handbook. Can we agree that we, the board, will get these monthly reports from the patrol?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
You're up, Lynn.
No, hold on, Dave. you
No, I
got
think
more
Dave
public
would
comment
like to
still.
speak.
Oh, okay, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
We'd have brought the mic.
I have this, just so I don't fall over while I'm speaking. It'd be a little embarrassing. Good evening, everybody. My name is David Ray. I live on Harvey Street in Hyde Park, and I used to sit on the board where Lena's sitting now.
Your chairwoman.
So I saw the supervisor's report on projects going on, appreciate that. And I understand his concern about inflation. The whole country has, the whole world has it actually, so it's good to be prudent. However, I knew we did have unassigned funds, a large amount, and I know we have to watch for rainy days. The question I have is, the one item was the Main Street sidewalks, and You said you put it on the table or you rejected it. I wasn't clear on that. Did you just tell the state, no, we don't want it?
Right.
Oh, so it's,
You want me to explain what happened?
well, it's, as I understand it, the state offered X number of dollars and we had to put matching fund in. Nowhere near what they gave us, but it's going to run way over. Is that your thing?
Excuse me?
Is that, it's going to run way over what the state gives us, plus our matching fund?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, and that's why you're turning it down?
Yes.
Because it's like how much over it is?
Well, it was $263,000 just to match.
Right.
But when I first heard about it, I got the award letter. I go, where'd this come from? I called GPI and I asked them, did you guys put this together? At first they said no. I called Pete Sotero, the town engineer. I said, did you do this? No, I didn't do it. So we finally started digging around. We found what Aileen's looking for. I think we got almost all of it together. And we found the estimate from CPL. I called Pete up and I said, Pete, I'm looking at some crazy numbers here and double the length of the other project on Pinewoods. And that came in at $1.1 million. This one's slated to be $1.3 million and change. Now, it was also pre-bomb going off with the escalation clauses. And I don't know how they were planning on getting by Vanderbilt's to begin with in their waterway. But the reason why I gave it up, because even the town engineer said it may go over big, because we used...
You said big?
Yeah, because we
Okay.
used old numbers.
Yeah.
We didn't use today's numbers.
Okay.
You know, and we were trying to see how bad it would be, and, you know, it could go 250,000 more. So at this time, after, like she said, I don't know what the fund balance will be last year, because we're going to use whatever we can to get stuff done, because we're already moving forward with every other one. So I'd rather have the money for the rainy day, and then maybe when things start to level off, which I think they will in about 4 years, you'll see things come down to where they should be, entertain it again, you know, which I double checked. I'm not barred from borrowing it. I can apply for the grants again, so,
Yeah.
I mean, they'll be out there for quite a while.
Okay, and just one point on the town hall, the addition that John Golden, as we all know, gave us little over $1 million. And I think at the time we thought another $1 million would do it. Now you're saying probably more like $2 million more, right?
We're roughing around 2.6 to 3.
How much?
2.6 to 3.
Over.
No, total.
Oh, total.
Yeah, you did, I read your email, that's right.
Okay, so at the max it'll be 3. Or guess.
Well, if we use
Roughly.
2, we need another $1 million, we need another 5 to 6, or that's why we said $1 million the most.
Yeah, well, we have $1 million from John, and then we have $2 million that we have to come up with. But that's going to be over long term. It won't be.
Well, they've allocated from the general fund, the unassigned balance, they took $1 million and
Right.
set it aside.
Okay.
Now, there may be ways of getting more. Hopefully, with the ADA grants that are out there, we got the grant writer looking for some, mostly if I can get non-matched would be better.
Yeah.
And there's a lot more than you think out there for non-matched items. So,
Okay.
you know, I'm trying to get it in the ground. I mean,
No, I understand. I appreciate that.
once the design's done, we'll have a real good budget idea.
Okay, thanks.
All right?
And I just want to comment, clarify to everybody, I love John Golden, but it was John and Gloria Golden that made the donation. Let's not forget it was the two of them together. Thank you.
Yes. Okay. Okay.
When are you going to vote on repealing the cannabis?
Tonight.
It's in our resolutions.
Thank you.
Anybody else have any comments? Barbara?
Is this the time to comment about the cannabis dispensary?
You can.
Oh. Gardening. Good evening, everybody. My name is Barbara Hobens, and my brother lives in Steamboat Springs, Colorado. And guess what? They got, they were legalized for selling cannabis and everything there. And he said, what a difference it has made through the years. He said, school taxes, roads, they're trying to think of things they can do with all the extra money they have. Think of that. They're looking for things to better the quality of life of everybody in Steamboat Springs, Colorado, because they have too much money.
Well, can I add something?
Sure.
So you know this.
Okay.
We've talked about that amongst ourselves, and if we're fortunate enough to get one, we're going to take a portion, because there is a high tax from it. It's worse than gas. But the taxes that we're going to get from it, we're going to take a portion of it, and each quarter, or maybe each half year, we're going to take that and donate it to whether it's the veterans, whether it's the Office of the Aging, whether it's, Meals on Wheels, whatever it is. We're going to take advantage of the extra that we weren't planning on and give it to some of these local agencies that need the money. So that's what you're talking about is where, we thought about that too when we heard about it.
So I don't know if you're leaning towards saying yes or no, but another thing I just have to add.
I don't have my Rastafarian hat on.
Way back in my time, when we wore landlubber jeans, when I was 15, I lived in northern New Jersey, we used to take the bus to Englewood, and we went to buy our jeans. And in the back, there were papers to roll things with. We're like, ooh, what's that? And if you asked the right guy behind the counter, you could get some pot. But the thing is, it was right next to a dress shop that back then had dresses for $1,000. So we're not talking about a grungy, scary, whatever. We're talking about a state-approved, like we all go to bars now, and we can legally drink liquor. Well, back in FDR, we can go back in history, but you couldn't drink liquor. But it can be nice, it can be positive, and I just want to speak out for that. So what I hear from my brother, and he was saying, it's just amazing what they do with the money, and I just think it's a no-brainer for the town. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Can I make a comment?
Oh, now you're gonna get up? Okay.
This is my fight. I want to open a cannabis store. I've already stated that in the last meeting. I have confirmation from the company. They're waiting for my first order. If I get a yes tonight, then I can start the process of attaining the license, which is going to be very expensive and very time consuming. It's not going to be a lounge. It's going to just be a store you can come in, get what you need, and go home. That's it. Pit stop. What we don't have here is reasonably priced edibles and vapes. And now I found out that the vapes are going to cost even more because there's a vape tax. I'm going to be taxed up and around unbelievably for cash business only because it's not federally approved. I cannot use banks. I cannot pay my employees normally. And that's why I've been up Schumer's rear since this last meeting about decriminalizing it so I can use a bank, get a loan, and do everything properly. That's what business owners are supposed to do. But in the application, it doesn't say how I pay my taxes. It doesn't say where it goes. It doesn't say the percentage. So there's some information I need to find out because there's a big hole in it, a complete big hole in it. So just to let you know, nobody's going to be able to do it like that.
Except Albany. That's just where they happen to be opening them.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
I'm a resident, so I'm going to make my own
Okay.
statement, but.
So you gotta stand out there.
Do you really want me to stand out there? I'll stand out there. When I was first faced with this law repeal, it wasn't easy. And I think a lot of people are a little afraid of it, and it's a big question out there of what it's going to look like and what it's going to do. My family has been hit with loss from drug abuse. So it's not an easy decision, I think, for anyone, and for, but the outpouring from the community through the channels to me as a ward member or an ward representative is positive towards it. So it's not something that I think anybody sitting on this dais took lightly or personally. We're taking it to the town. And it is a decision, it's a long haul to get there. But for me, I did a lot of research, and it's not, as you said, Barbara, it's not the pot of way back when and the grunge. We have just as much alcoholism. So it wasn't lightly taken. I just wanted to make that known, that as a ward representative, I listen to the people of my ward, and that's what we're here to do. So, thank you.
Someone had written or sent an article to me, to try to go basically against it. And when I read the article, that it clearly states that, yes, marijuana has mind-altering drug far second to alcohol. That means alcohol is obviously more dangerous and addicting than marijuana is. And making sure that, I know kids aren't supposed to be able to buy it because you gotta be 21, but the best parent in the world hasn't been able to stop their kids from getting beer from somebody. So I'd feel more comfortable, like the chief said, because there was 3 more, we call it dusting, overdoses, and one was fatal out in Middletown. Same thing, they took it, sprinkled it with fentanyl, now they're getting smart. They want you to get addicted to fentanyl because the black market knows they're going to be losing the marijuana profits that they make. That's why you're seeing such an influx of all these other things coming into town or into this country. Okay. Anything else? You want to say anything?
When we're voting now?
Oh, okay. No, we're not voting. Okay, so we're going to close the public comments of the resolutions, and we'll move on to the resolutions themselves.
Ready? Resolution 815-1 of 2022, resolution authorizing the Town of Hyde Park Town Supervisor to execute an agreement with Pettinelli Recreation, Inc. for the ADA accessible and all-inclusive design playground equipment for the Town of Hyde Park Recreation's Hackett Hill Park.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Resolution 815-2 of 2022. Resolution authorizing the Town of Hyde Park Town Board to appoint members to the newly established Veterans Affairs Committee and designate the chairman for said committee.
I have a second.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Resolution 815-3 of 2022, resolution authorizing the Town of Hyde Park Town Board to approve surplus highway vehicles to be sold at auction by the Town of Hyde Park Highway Superintendent.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'd like to add how he's made the smartest decision and made a lot of money in doing this. Congratulations. For the town. He always does it for the town.
I know.
Unless you got that cash.
So we were, just real quick on that, we were anticipating, what were we thinking, somewhere around the pickup truck that Howie had, that the tree fell on, was supposed to be bringing in somewhere, we were guessing somewhere around $10,000, right, Howie? And it ended up,
Insurance offered them 4,900, 4,500.
no, that's after, yeah, but after we bought it back, we thought that just a straight auction for the, the damaged pickup truck was supposed to be somewhere around 10,000. And what the auction, when they auctioned it off, it came in around, what, 22,000? 22,000, so, yeah, that was. So, Howie, if you could just give us 2 quick seconds and tell us what your thoughts are and what you got planned, and you know, talking about them little quick bodies that you're talking about putting on the other trucks. Some of our trucks are in really, really rough shape.
Yeah, we have 2 one-ton pickup trucks that you can put your hand through the bodies, they're that bad. And originally I talked about replacing the trucks. But with these 2 new trucks that are coming in, we're gonna auction off 2 other ones. And if we buy the dump bodies, it's under $8,000 a piece, and we'll have decent trucks again. You know, then we only gotta replace 1 out of 3. So 16,000, I'm hoping with the next auction, we come up with that money, and then we can fix the 2 trucks that we have.
Beautiful,
So that's what we're trying.
beautiful.
And what will that save the town?
16,000 just for the bodies. If we were to replace the trucks, mine that we had to order after the tree was 66,000. So these are more of a truck than I drive around in, so probably a little bit more.
Yep.
But we can save the town money that way, and it won't cost anybody anything if we do it through the surplus.
Very good, very nice job.
Thank
you.
Resolution 815-4 of 2022, resolution authorizing the Town of Hyde Park Town Board to authorize the release of road opening bond for Jason Steinbar, road location 9 Lawrence Road.
May I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Resolution 815-5 of 2022, resolution authorizing the release of a driveway bond for Michael Schatzel, building contractor, Inc., for property location 9 Van Dam Road, Hyde Park.
Second.
May I have a second? We got Linda, yes. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution 815-6 of 2022. Resolution authorizing the Town of Hyde Park Town Board to approve their request from the Culinary Institute of America to conduct a fireworks display on Monday, September 5th, 2022 in the town of Hyde Park.
May I have a second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Resolution 815-7 of 2022, resolution authorizing the Town of Hyde Park Town Supervisor to execute a statement of consent for the Dutchess County Water and Wastewater Authority to act as lead agency for the Greenfield Water Supply Alternate Source Interconnection Project.
May I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Resolution 815-8 of 2022, resolution adopting local law number A of 2022 entitled Local Law Number A of 2022 to repeal Local Law Number 9 of 2021.
I still need a second. May I have a second?
Second?
Okay. Donna, can you take a roll call? Sure.
Councilwoman Noakes?
Aye.
Councilwoman Ruggiero?
Is there discussion?
Now you can
No?
say something.
I want it to be known, because I've read all the information that's coming to me, and I then have researched this pretty thoroughly. I mean, anybody could research more, I guess. But, so I researched this. the issue of cannabis and its usage. And of course, I've known for years, and it has been in some of the articles I read, the negative effects of cannabis and the increase in mental health hospitalizations and need based on usage of cannabis. Then I read the Colorado reports because they were one of the first states to legalize cannabis, and they have a requirement of very thorough reports every, I think it's a couple years. So the first one I read was starting to suggest that there was an increase in various crimes, especially vehicular and traffic crimes. And then I read the more recent one, and that suggested that for several of the measurements it had gone up the first 2 or so years, but then leveled off or came down. And by the 2019, it was pretty stabilized. So then I looked at some reports, summaries of reports in journals, economic journals and journals looking at dispensaries and the legalization of marijuana. And the summaries, more recent ones, the most recent ones I should say, suggested that property value near dispensaries went up. Crime was not affected. The youth that live near dispensaries did not have an inclination to use it more than one would have thought, or those not living near dispensaries. And it was suggested that there was a decrease in other illegal drugs. So then I'm saying, now what? So there's a big difference I found between legalization that I had to consider and dispensaries. And the legalization bit is already done. So it is here. It's been legalized, so the issues are there. So what I would like is, because it's going to be a long haul, that we put into place things we should do anyway. And that would be helping the police in traffic control and being able to identify people driving under the influence, because one of the reports did specifically say there was an increase in fatalities due to people using cannabis with other drugs. And to continue to support mental health treatment in the town. Now, the mental health part, of course, is near and dear to me, but a dispensary isn't going to change that. People are going to use if they're going to use, and they're using it now. I, of course, would love public education to continue, and I still would advocate for that, so that people know the dangers, especially for the youth, because that's where the mental health issue is the worst, and usage when they're young, teenagers. So if we could do these social issues, I would be very happy, because I think the legalization is done. So taking all that into consideration, I will vote yes for a dispensary.
Councilman Lombardi.
Yes.
Councilman Prusakowski.
Yes.
And Supervisor Torrigiani.
Yes. Okay, motion carried. Adoption carried. Yeah, she should have been a lawyer. Yeah, she needs a lawyer. Good luck. Next.
It was my turn? Okay, done. Resolution 815-9 of 2022. Resolution introducing and scheduling a public hearing for a proposed local law C of 2022 entitled A Local Law Amending the Town of Hyde Park Town Code to amend Chapter 108 Zoning, Article 23 Residential Care Facilities.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Do we go to
Scheduled for September 12th.
okay, so the public hearing is scheduled for September 12th? Okay. It's a big one.
Right? September 12th? Yeah, it's right here.
Ready?
Done.
Resolution 815-10 of 2022, Resolution authorizing Town of Hyde Park Town Supervisor to accept and execute an agreement for consulting services from Vision's Human Resource Services LLC to provide a compliance audit of the current human resources policies, forms, procedures, and benefits for the Town of Hyde Park Human Resources Department.
I recuse myself from this vote for personal reasons.
Okay, you have a second?
Second?
You made it, you know, I got a second.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Jen.
Second.
Okay, all in favor, other
Aye.
than Nicole?
Aye?
Aye.
Okay. Motion carried. Nicole has a thing.
It's my turn.
Two.
This one we say
Right.
for you.
Thanks. Resolution 815-11 of 2022, resolution authorizing the Town of Hyde Park Town Board to adopt revised Section 904 of the Town of Hyde Park Employee Handbook that includes the discrimination and sexual harassment policy and complaint procedures to add, as required by New York State, a newly adopted New York State confidential sexual harassment hotline.
May I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Resolution 815-12 of 2022. Resolution authorizing the Town of Hyde Park Town Board to acknowledge the resignation of Joshua Vogt, part-time police assistant for the Town of Hyde Park Police Department.
All right, may I have a second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Resolution 815-13 of 2022. Resolution authorizing the Town of Hyde Park Town Board to acknowledge the resignation of Deputy Town Clerk and Hyde Park Zoning Board of Appeals Secretary Serena Tushler.
May I have a second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Just like to say real quick that, you know, she did a phenomenal job here. She's going to be missed. She wore multi hats here and helped everybody out, and she was a good working partner with Donna, and we're really going to miss her.
Yes, thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Resolution 815-14 of 2022, resolution authorizing the Town of Hyde Park Town Board to appoint Lauren Kohler and Nathan Robbins as part-time police assistants for the Town of Hyde Park Police Department.
May I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Resolution 815-15 of 2022, resolution authorizing the Town of Hyde Park Town Board to approve vacation carryover for the Town of Hyde Park Recreation Director, Robert Pollard.
May I have a second? Second?
Second?
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Resolution 815-16 of 2022, resolution authorizing the Town of Hyde Park Town Board to approve vacation carryover for Town of Hyde Park Zoning Administrator Kathleen Moss.
May I have a second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Resolution 815-17 of 2022, resolution authorizing the Town of Hyde Park Town Board to approve vacation carryover for Town of Hyde Park Planning Board Secretary Cynthia Whitman.
May I have a second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Resolution 815-18 of 2022, resolution authorizing the Town of Hyde Park Police Officer Alec Brando to attend the New York State Canine Association's annual Work Dog Seminar to be held September 19th to September 23rd, 2022 at the Town of Poughkeepsie Police Department.
May I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Resolution 815-19 of 2022, resolution authorizing the Town of Hyde Park Detective Joshua Tucker to attend the 2-day training responding to a major use of force or officer-involved shooting, September 12th to September 13th, at the Town of Poughkeepsie Police Department.
May I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? Motion carried.
Resolution 815-20 of 2022. A resolution authorizing the Town of Hyde Park Town Board to amend Resolution 718-17 of 2022, awarding the Town of Hyde Park Recreation's Dinsmore Playground Park Improvement Project to Pedinelli Recreation Inc. to reflect an error in the estimated amount to be funded from the Recreation Trust for the additional cost for the sidewalk to be installed at the request of the county.
May I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Resolution 815-21 of 2022, resolution authorizing the Town of Hyde Park Town Supervisor to execute an amend contract in conjunction with the extension request for Dutchess County 2021 CDBG grant for the Town of Hyde Park Recreation Dinsmore Park Playground Improvement Project.
May I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Resolution 815-22 of 2022, resolution authorizing the Town of Hyde Park Town Supervisor to execute an amended contract in conjunction with additional extension request for the Dutchess County 2022 CDBG-CV grant funding for the Town of Hyde Park Recreation Department's Senior Center COVID-related safety improvements.
I just want to point out, it's not 2022, it's the 2020 CDBG-CV grant. Sorry, Don.
So noted.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No. Motion carried. I see the chair for the Veterans Affairs Committee is here. I'd like to bring you up. Can you get your book? You're swearing in, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna get sworn in.
There's the CDBG grant is in just.
Craig after, okay? I swear you in.
Hill is me.
You have a new business? Oh, we have to go to, this is two. I need to have a motion to enter into executive session to exhaust, to discuss a issue of personal issue. Personnel issue. What's the difference? Can I do that now?
The second. Need a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Make a motion?
Also move.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, we can go do that. Should we do the second one at the same time?
They're gonna come in. They've got 30 days, so they'll trickle in.
So I need a motion to return to the second
So moved.
from the executive session. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, carried. No action was taken, just so everybody knows. All right, do we have, well, how about a motion to adjourn?
I so move.
Second.
Adjourn. Okay. All in favor, I guess?
Aye.
Aye, to that one. Can you believe that is this?